Hi y'all, Amanda here today from Powerhouse Life Coaching. Today, I'm talking through the 5 emotions which take you out of power. Let's get into it. These 5 emotions are shame, guilt, disappointment, embarrassment, and fear. Sound familiar? As humans, we're constantly seeking pleasure, constantly. And if pleasure is not an option, then we're going to do anything in our power to avoid pain. So I'm sure you heard from those 5 emotions, they're not feel goods, they're discomforting emotions, which means we're going to take action to try and avoid feeling them or get out of that experience. So that said, let's define shame. Shame is a very intense emotion, which is painful, and it's based on the belief that we are flawed. Therefore, we are unworthy of love or belonging. Shame is not a helpful feeling at all, and it's likely to be the source of very hurtful or destructive behaviors. We tend to respond to shame in 3 ways. One of 3 ways. We either move away from shame, which means we just disappear from our own lives. We move toward shame, which means we like to people please ourselves out of shame. Or we move against shame, which means we might get a bit aggressive and hurt others. So you shame me, I'm gonna hurt you and shame you back. So let's get into the second emotion, which is guilt. Guilt is something we've done or failed to do against our own values. It's a psychological discomfort. When we talk about shame, it's saying I'm bad. When we talk about guilt, it's saying what I did was bad. So shame is focusing on self, whereas guilt is really focused on the behavior. And unlike shame, guilt actually has the ability to be a helpful emotion if we use it to motivate us to correct our actions and undo harm. The problem is a lot of people sit and sulk in guilt and don't take any action. So for the third emotion, this is disappointment. And this is when our expectations don't meet reality. We feel sad, displeasure, unhappy, unfulfilled, etc. Disappointment can be an emotion which helps us grow, but well-meaning but unchecked expectations, they have the potential to load as shame and resentment bombs. Emotion 4, which is embarrassment. Embarrassment is a short-lived, discomforting emotion. You often feel exposed, awkward, and filled with regret. And embarrassment is actually a mild form of shame, but the difference is we know that the behavior or action that we've done, we're not the only ones that did it. And in the moment though, we can feel very alone, but when that moment passes, then embarrassment actually has the ability to turn into funny. So the 5th emotion which takes us out of our power is fear. Fear is a natural, powerful, and primitive emotion which alerts us in the presence of physical or emotional danger. Fear can also be triggered when there's change. And when fear is triggered in response to change, it has the power to kill our ambitions, our dreams, our desires, our goals. Fear does this by creating legitimate excuses which stop us, slow us down, or prevent us from taking action. It takes us back into our comfort zone. We stay in our comfort zone, even if contentment or greatness is on the other side of that change. What's most interesting about this emotion is there is a very little difference between fear and excitement. Think about it. When you go on a roller coaster, when you watch a scary movie, when you jump out of an airplane, those are all very scary and exciting things at the exact same time. Fear is actually excitement on pause, and all you gotta do is press play. All right, folks, those are the 5 emotions which take you out of your power. Shame, embarrassment, disappointment, guilt, fear. If you could relate to any of those emotions, let me know. Drop a comment, send a DM. Looking forward to hear how these impact your power.